Heyo guys! Yeesh, sorry for the wait there, but my main Squeeze channel was in need of some dire TLC, and for this particular game, I decided not to pull a Gears of War and actually play the previous installment before tackling this one. Hell, the boxed version came with the fancy schmancy remastered edition, all for no extra charge, so I figured what the hell? I mean, heck, it even came with this weird reversible mask, which...
I'll be taking these Huggies along with any cash you got.
The first Dishonored was one of those last-gen titles I just never got around to. I was too busy with The Last of Us and BioShock Infinite, but after playing it, holy hell, I'm sad that I missed out. I haven't had this much fun with a stealth game since the original Metal Gear Solid titles. Well, at least the ones before the series got super long-winded and before Konami basically committed seppuku, but it was basically everything I wanted in a stealth game. A wide variety of tools at your disposal, nice big open maps with lots of verticality to plan whatever type of route to and from your targets, and lots of choices with meaningful consequences that affected not only the story, but gameplay as well. Sure, the story was a wee bit cack-handed, and I seriously can't tell if most of the character models are stylized, or if they've just been fucked in the face by the uncanny valley, but it was still a solid Game of the Year style game that I feel deserved all the hype it got. And after playing the first game, I left feeling energized and hungry. I wanted more, and that was basically everything this game was promising. Hell, I thought to myself, if the sequel is just basically more of this, it'll probably get a nice big fat gold star from me. So did the game get its gold star? Well, I don't wish to spoil, but the fact that I've had to foreshadow my opinion this clumsily this early on means that the night sky is at least a little overcast. See, Dishonored 2 is a game that's just so goddamn frustrating to look at from a review perspective. It's very clear that the guys at Arcane took the community's feedback and added a lot of their suggestions and improvements. And you know, you have to give them props for that. That's incredible to have a developer listen to the feedback from their fans, but for every one thing they added, it feels like they either took away or buggered with something that didn't need to be fucked with. For example, in the first game, there was pretty much only one way to incapacitate a hostile without outright killing them. It made non-lethal runs a bit of a pain in the ass, so this game included several more non-lethal methods for taking out guards. Yay! But then it made finding shops in which to purchase these non-lethal items a right pain in the dick to find. Boo! Yeah, as opposed to having a nice little shop to visit and resupply before every mission, you need to actually find the store somewhere in the middle of a town after already starting the mission. And usually the damn thing is tucked behind a nice little wall of people who want to slit your face up like a Christmas goose. They don't show up on your map either, at least most of the time. Piero, man, you were hideously ugly, terribly pervy, and your voice actor sounded like the 5 or 6 Valiums he had for lunch were doing the acting for him, but all is forgiven if you'll just come back to me, dude. Also in this game, you get to play as one of 2 protagonists, either good old masky-face McStabby Dad, Corvo Atano, or his now grown-up daughter and new empress, Emily Caldwin. This means more choices of gameplay and more ways for the story to progress and change in different playthroughs. Yay! Too bad that mostly turned out to be a nice big plate of huevos rancheros with a side of bullshit. Boo! While Emily and Corvo's powers all have different names and do function in somewhat different ways, more often than not, Emily's powers are just kinda names or workarounds for the same thing Corvo did in the last game. Far Reach is just a slightly different version of Blink. Shadow Walk more or less accomplishes the same thing you would for powers like Bend Time or Possession, and Domino basically does the same thing that Devouring Swarm does, only without the satisfaction of watching a dude get fucked up by Chuck E. Cheese. Where's the fun in that? And while I only played as Emily, I looked back at some of Corvo's scenes on YouTube, and barring a few minor changes here or there, the major crux of events in the general story doesn't really stray that much for either character. And that's just a few examples of things going buggery. Hell, there were some good things in the game that just got absolutely fucked over for no good reason. Again, a sign that they were happy to take suggestions from the community, but had a wee bit of trouble weeding out the actual helpful ones from the ones submitted by giggling twats. For one, somebody probably suggested that there weren't enough bone charms and runes runes to search for in each mission, so now there's a metric fuck ton of the little buggers in every single map. Seriously, equipping the heart for the first time in a new level absolutely bukakis your screen with the little icons. And I can imagine some other little shit twat probably complained that the passive buffs the bone charms gave you in the last game made the game too easy. So now every bone charm is either way too piss weak for it to matter in any meaningful way, or too situational for you to ever even notice you're using it. Whoever dropped that into the suggestion box can get a nice little charm right on their bone. And I can only imagine some obsessive get good style Dark Souls player who masturbates with sandpaper and can't even come until he smashed his head into a wall 40 times probably suggested the original game was too easy. I would love to smack that guy with some kind of stick, except I have a weird feeling he'd probably be into that. The difficulty spike in this game is fucking staggering. I played on regular ass medium difficulty for both Dishonored and Dishonored 2, and remember I played these two games back to back with no prior exposure. And I played non-lethal runs for each game. On D1, while it was quite the bugger of a challenge, I was able to get through some missions without a single detection or even a single kill, and that's despite the lack of non-lethal takedown options. On D2, the Mighty Ducks, even though I had way more tools at my disposal, I was almost always scraping just underneath that low chaos rating by the skin of my damn teeth. The number of guards they put on any given map has practically tripled, and they all detect you way faster now. Hell, you can be detected while peeking around corners now. What the fuck is the point of taking that away, Arcane? Also, whereas in D1, if I got caught with my skull-faced little pants down, I could always leg it, find a nice hidey hole, and wait for the guards to get bored and fuck off. In this game, if you get detected, every guard within a 50-mile radius knows your exact location, and all 600 of them come after you. I had dozens of people chasing me in certain sections. The fucking Benny Hill music may as well have been playing. Holy shit! So, this game has some issues. Again, for every one cool feature or improvement they added, something either got completely taken away or fucked with so that it wasn't as fun as it was previously. And for all you people out there saying I was just crap at the game, it's entirely possible you're right. Yeah, maybe I just sucked at this game. But I'll tell you one thing, pretty much all of the problems I had with Dishonored 2 were nowhere to be found in Dishonored 1. And it's not like I'm a nostalgic fanboy here. I played this one literally 8 hours after finishing the first. And while the first game's enemy placement felt strategic and nuanced, this game's placement felt slipshod and cheap. Where the last game played with fluidity and rewarded exploration, this game felt like it was fighting back against me every step of the way. The first game was an absolute perfect banana split, and this game is basically that same banana split, only garnished with sawdust. Not a ton of sawdust, mind. I mean, for all my gripes, overall, the game is still pretty fun once you settle into its masochistic groove. But don't let the massive praise this game is getting by other outlets fool you. The original is the much better game here. No contest. And no skull-poking way is this thing worth an 88%. Fuck off. But I still recommend getting this game, at least the boxed version, especially since it comes with the first game bundled in. More bang for your buck there, and yeah, that first game is totally worth it. But if you get through playing that first title and then get halfway through this one and say, "Oh my god, fuck it, I'm done. I don't care. Like, let the spooky witch lady have the kingdom. I don't give a fuck." I totally do not blame you. Long live Empress Delilah. Who cares? Dishonored 2 gets 3.5 ethically dubious quandaries out of 5.
Son, you got a panty on your head.